of the previous regimes that ruled the country. It's not just now that the chickens are coming to roost. President Goodluck Jonathan had to meet these problems there, and he was doing what he could. This is the government that, in my impression, has taken the most solid approach towards solving Nigeria's fundamental political, economic problems, and it takes a time. Centuries of misgovernance, years of misgovernance cannot be put right within a regime. And I mean, you need, there are so many basic fundamental defects in our body politic, in the economy, in our society. And these are the problems that President Goodluck Jonathan is trying to address.
The general election is in February,
yes.
But the president still hasn't made his intention, know if he wants to rerun. So some people are saying perhaps he wants to use the Chibok girls as a platform to declare, and stuff like that.
That is very unfair. That's cheap political blackmail. That's cheap talk. How can anybody accuse Goodluck Jonathan of trying to use the Chibok girls EU as a vehicle for political campaign? Ever since I've had so many interviews and I've made it clear, and because I know what happened, ever since the Chibok girls have been abducted, the very moment he knew, the government took measures to ensure that they were released. But then the point that was lost on the members of the public is that when such a matter, or when such an incident occurs, the measures you take to get those girls back are covert. You cannot release to the public steps we are taking to get those girls back until you get them back. See what happened in this US. Bin Laden was everywhere for 10 good years, and there have been several attempts by the US government to capture Bin Laden. But until they got him and killed him, they did not tell anybody in the world that they're doing it. Now, do you expect the government to say, oh, we got near where the guys are, we nearly got them, so to show what they are doing? It's very unfair. So the government started making effort to get these girls released the very moment it knew they were captured. And it's very unfair for people. It's all politics. The problem in Nigeria is that everything is politicized. And the President Goodluck Jonathan's opponents take every advantage of every event. They look everything from the prism of 2015. How can it delay this until that time? Why should you now say to use politics? It's very unfair. If it's cheap, I mean, it's disgraceful that anybody should even think that way. He had always wanted this girl to be released anytime and has been making effort. If now that the efforts are coming to fruition in the period before he declares, I'm not even going to that. So what is the point? We would now say he should not go and get the girls released. He should not make effort to get the girls released because he wants to declare, he wants to contest. Come on, let's be fair. Nigerians, please.
All right, sir. Okay, we know that the U.S. is very much interested in Nigeria, and they did promise to assist, especially in the fight against insurgency and insecurity, in the country some time ago. But what's going on in that area now? Well,
let me say this. I just had a meeting with some staff of the State Department, and we made it clear to them that we're not very happy with the level of support they are giving us on Boko Haram. They gave us training, they gave us some equipment, they now share intelligence with us. Even the manner in which we are sharing intelligence, we are not very happy about it. But right now, but the most crucial thing is that we ask them for some certain type of equipment. And I'm saying this to you now because the American ambassador in Nigeria did say in Yola that they were not going to give us equipment, some lethal equipment, particularly helicopters, which were to attack Boko Haram, because they say we are violating human rights. That is very, very wrong. We made it clear to them several times that they are wrong in that area. And for the argument that Nigeria is violating human rights simply cannot be sustained on the basis of facts. Number one, ever since we declared the 3 states of emergency, those 3 states of Boko Haram, we never removed the democratic structures. The governors, the parliament are still there. Ever since we started arresting suspects, Boko Haram suspects, We never created any extrajudicial institution to try Boko Haram suspects. Indeed, a senator who was suspected of links with Boko Haram is now free on bail and is even debating in Parliament, contributing to debates on Boko Haram itself. Now, allegations of human rights violations are based on some videos, some recorded incidents of some military people killing people, beating them up, tying them up, and subjecting to all kinds of punishments. But we've made it clear to them that most of those atrocities are perpetrated by Boko Haram people wearing stolen Nigerian army uniforms. And we're surprised that they cannot get it. We're simply surprised that the U.S. Embassy in Abuja simply cannot get it. And then they write all kinds of reports to State Department, and which are referring to the American media, that tend to demonize our armed forces and give Boko Haram a rock star treatment. So we've made it clear to them several times, because there are incidents in which Nigerian people were arrested at the borders with huge piles of Nigerian uniforms being taken to Boko Haram people. This is what Boko Haram does. I've seen PBS did a video which was very, very disgraceful. Boko Haram people killing people, beheading them, and doing all kinds of things, subjecting to all kinds of torture. But these guys were wearing stolen Nigerian army uniforms. We told them. It's on the basis of that that they say that because Nigeria is violating human rights, they will not give us lethal instruments which we need to deliver a killer punch to Boko Haram. We told them what the scourge, Boko Haram is such a terrible scourge that we do not appreciate these light jabs that we are giving Boko Haram. Boko Haram needs a killer punch. And so we continue to make the point. I would not have gone to this, but on Friday, the American ambassador in Abuja went on air. It was published in Nigerian leading newspapers. I was in fact trying to write a rejoinder when I saw that I was retracting it. But then we need to state our case. We need to state our case. All those allegations of human rights violations, I mean, the point is, these allegations are based on wrong facts. I'll give you an example. There was an incident in Baga when our soldiers attacked, Boko Haram attacked some villages in Baga area, sometimes last year before President Obama came to Africa. The American embassy in Abuja relied, they say, on pictures taken on satellite, said over 1,600 houses were destroyed in Baga. Baga village doesn't have up to 600 houses. How can we destroy 1,600 houses in a village that has less than 600 houses? It doesn't make sense. So what we are telling our American friends is that when you hear these allegations of human rights violations, check with our people, check with the Nigerian law enforcement agencies, and let them know what is the truth. When we told them that some of these pictures you see are Boko Haram people, not Nigerian soldiers, Boko Haram people wearing Nigerian army stolen uniforms, I mean, they were surprised. And we are surprised that they are surprised, as if that should not happen. So that's the problem. Also, we have a fault too in Nigeria. You press people, you press your fellow pressmen. You give Boko Haram rockstar treatment, and when some so-called human rights people come around you to look for whether you have stories about human rights violation by Nigerian forces, you support them. And it's what these people read. I mean, I'm an ambassador here. When I write a report to my headquarters, it is partly influenced by what I read in newspapers and what I gather from other sources. That is what the American embassy in Abuja does. What is written in Nigerian newspapers, in your television station and all that, forms an aggregate of the report they forward here. Those reports need to be checked and verified before you make conclusions on them. That is what we want the American embassy in Abuja to do more of that before they give right reports to State Department and they present Nigeria in a very bad light. So I have been I'm going there today, and we've always been arguing. Yesterday, I addressed a group of diplomats in the American embassy going to some other countries, and I really told them that people need to check your facts. Right? Don't give Boko Haram a rock star treatment and demonize our armed forces.
Okay. All right, well, finally now, of course, we have Nigerians living anywhere, everywhere, yes, including the United States. Yes. Election is coming. We're talking about developing the country, changing the face of Nigeria, bringing in new things, both through the government and through the private sector. Is there any coordination going on, you know, to have a contribution from Nigerians in the United States?
Well, we have the largest concentration of Nigerians outside Nigeria and the United States. If you go to the street, the main street there, but if you stand on that main street, Connecticut Avenue, for 2 hours, within those 2 hours, you see as if 3 Nigerians passing through. There are 1 million Nigerian Americans. When I mean Nigerian Americans, I mean Americans, Nigerians. People came here as Nigerians. They live long enough to get a green card and become Americanized. It's double that number also, who are here for all kinds of things. So we have between 3 to 4 million Nigerians here. But I want to tell you that we have here the most literate set of immigrants in the United States. It's officially recognized. Nigerians has the most literate set of immigrants in the United States. If you ask, there's no profession, medicine, architecture, aeronautics, in which you don't have Nigerians. And they are contributing very meaningfully to the economy of this country, to the politics of this country in so many areas. And so they do come here. And as some of them, what is even very gratifying about some of them is that they're not looking for any job, any political position. They want to give back to their country. And the embassy is trying to do that by linking them with appropriate offices where they can, appropriate agencies in Nigeria, where we can utilize their skills. The federal government, this government again, has done more than any previous government to utilize the experience and skills of the diaspora. This is a country, the diaspora, there's going to be a diaspora commission. The bill has passed the final stage. When that bill is signed by the government, it creates a commission that will make these responsibilities to link Nigeria with their skill here with those in Nigeria, where we can utilize their skill. We also have a system whereby when we encourage them here. That I keep telling them, I don't want you to go back to it. I'm not saying we need your expertise and skill at home, but I'm not saying every Nigerian should pack his bag and baggage and go home. Do what the Israelis do. Do what the Indians do. You can retain your position or your presence here, but go to the country, open industries, whatever, come back here, make yourself familiar with the skills available, and transport them to Nigeria, and just go in between, because the two countries accept dual citizenship. I encourage them, get their green card, get the American passport, come back here, come and get the Nigerian passport. We will give you. When you are going to Abuja, show them Nigerian passport. When you are coming here, give them the American passport. Make the best of two worlds. Contribute to your country. Because at the end of the day, your worth as a person is partly a reflection of the prestige of your country, where you are originally from. I tell them, you say, oh, I'm American. By the time you speak, they tell you where are you originally from. They will ask you that, because they know that you just naturalize. Your prestige has to do with your country. So and that message has gone into Nigerians. They realize that. And so they want to contribute their quota to the growth of their country, and embassy is doing that for them.
And that's the program this week. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. I'll see you next time.